Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. Seb here, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm an animal rights activist and a vegan, and I share videos about veganism and animal rights in general on my YouTube channel every single week. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Before we get into it, I want to ask you to please subscribe and hit the notification button to stay up to date with all my videos, and if you would like to follow me on other social media platforms as well, feel free to check me out there. That being said, we are talking about books. I have to mention that my free ebook is out and available on my website of 20 languages. In detail, it's about logical fallacies and how these fallacies are shaping our relations with other animals. I do want to get to all the books that I have here. I'm really excited to do this, and I want to ask you to stay around until the end of the video, where I will share which one of these books is my favorite. I also want to mention something very important. I am not paid by anyone to do the reviews of these books, so these are completely objective. It's my experience after having read them. I also want to say that I will be leaving the links for each of these books in the description below. These are affiliate links, which means that I may get a very small percentage of it. It will support this channel, but that will be at no cost to you. You can also get a free 1-month Premium Plus membership on Audible, and during this month you can get one free audiobook to listen to. After that month you can cancel it. However, if you want to continue, please feel free to do so. You can get the link in the description, and keep in mind that you can find almost every single book I'm talking about on the Audible library. So if you want to get at least one free ebook and listen to it as an audiobook, you can go ahead and use the 1-month free membership. But most importantly, I'm not paid to do this on behalf of anyone. Let's get to it. The first one is going to be 2 books that I recommend for anyone who's new to veganism. The first one is going to be by Simon Hill. It's The Proof is in the Plants. Simon Hill is a very famous podcaster. He has a show that is called Plant Proof, and he gets so many amazing professionals talking about veganism, sustainability, and most importantly, health. I have been a huge fan of his work for a very long time. I listen to his podcast almost every time I go cycling, so I really do recommend this book, and for a very specific reason. This book will cover everything you need to learn about veganism. It's mostly about the health side, but Simon does hit the ethical side and the sustainability side. The reason why I really like it is because even though he gets into the details of the health part, he makes it so easy to understand for anyone who hasn't studied nutrition like he has, or anyone who's not a professional when it comes to health. A very important thing as well is that he debunks a lot of things in this book. It's absolutely amazing. He goes through the details, and one of the things that he's really famous for is scientific data. He looks at the research. He has linked every single study that he talks about. If you want to learn more about veganism, and make sure that you stay vegan on the long term, because studies have shown that the first 3 months are very important when someone goes vegan, and that could be due to people not knowing how to eat a plant-exclusive diet. This book is the one you need. So, the second book I want to talk about is actually by Melanie Joy. It's called Beyond Beliefs. I've read this book a few years ago and I really enjoyed it. And basically the book makes it very obvious what it's about. It's a guide to improving relationships and communications for vegans, vegetarians, and meat eaters. So one of the main reasons a lot of people stop being vegan, although in my opinion, if you stop being vegan for those reasons, then you didn't really grasp the ethics of animal rights. However, people call themselves vegan and then they stop. This book will help shape your relations. One of the main things that happens is people get bullied, people feel social pressure, people don't know how to communicate, and Melanie Joy does a really good explanation of why this happens and how people can get better when it comes to this. A lot of people feel this obstacle. I actually personally get a lot of messages on my social media, mostly on Instagram, of people saying I've gone vegan and I'm feeling so down by people attacking me all the time. So it's actually a book not only for vegans but also for meat eaters to understand about why they should respect vegans and how to relate with them. So if you do feel that kind of pressure, this is a good book that will help you when you first go vegan. Now that we have covered the 2 books that I recommend to every single new vegan, I want to talk about the books that I have here about the philosophy of veganism. For that, obviously, we cannot mention animal rights without mentioning the really amazing work done by Peter Singer in the book Animal Liberation. This book came out decades ago and it has been known to be one of the most important books. Now, for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know that I made a video about Peter Singer because of some stance that he had when it comes to animal rights and veganism. I was kind of disappointed personally in some of the stances that he made, but however, shockingly, you can agree with someone on something and also see value in other things they do. So I do believe that especially the first part of this book really nails it limited when it comes to the ethics, he makes an extremely strong case for veganism. So I do believe that if you're new to veganism, this book will help you understand the ethics. Now, Peter Singer has recently, as I said, taken a more welfarist approach, but you can still get a lot of knowledge and understanding from this book. For those of you who know me also know that I am a fan of Tom Regan's work, and that is why I also recommend this book, The Case for Animal Rights. This book is not easy, much more philosophy-based than Peter's Animal Liberation. The reason for that is because Peter's book is basically written in a more communication style, like he's talking to you straight away, whereas Tom Regan's book is really academic, going through the work of other philosophers, debunking or let's say disagreeing with what they've said, explaining his point, but really powerful. In my opinion, I love the balance between those two books because I have learned so much from both of them. And I think where I disagree with Peter Singer, I agree with Tom Regan. So it's always good to have different perspectives, you know, just because I have my disagreements with Peter Singer, and I would even say that he's not a dietary vegan, doesn't follow a plant-exclusive diet, doesn't mean that there isn't a lot of value in this book. However, Tom Regan. Now, I want to mention one important thing. If you want me to do another video, I have already thought about this, where I share with you books that vegan activists and animal rights activists should read. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. I have so many books that I'm really excited to share with you, but of course, I would love to know what you think about that. The third book I'm going to be talking about is a book that I don't have physically here. I actually have some books that I'm going to mention here that I don't have with me physically. The third one is The World Peace Diet. It's written by Dr. Will Tuttle, and that book is not, let's say, as philosophical as The Case for Animal Rights or Peter Singer's Animal Liberation. However, it's a really beautiful book. It's kind of spiritual in a way as well, and I listened to it as an audiobook a few years ago and really enjoyed it. So if you want to check that out as well, I'll be leaving links for the digital books that I have or the audiobooks that I've listened to in the description as well. That being said, the second topic here is going to be sustainability. And what is sustainability without this book, The Sustainability Secret? It's actually written by Kip Anderson and Keegan Kuhn, the people behind the amazing documentary Cowspiracy. And this book is really, I mean, obviously Simon Hill's book Proof is in the Plants gives a lot of information about sustainability as well, but if you really dive into the numbers and the studies and everything, highly recommended book. If you can get your hands on this book, you will learn a lot about how much animal agriculture has an impact on the environment and how sustainable it is eating a plant-exclusive diet versus a diet involving animal products. So that's it for sustainability. Now, when it comes to health-related books, I have to go back again to Simon Hill's Proof is in the Plants. This is my #1 go-to health-related book. I have talked about it already. I do want to say when it comes to health, he also goes inside the nutrition and basically if you should be taking any supplements or any kind of information you can imagine, any question you might have is going to be answered in this book. Another book that I want to advise you to take a look at is How Not to Die by Dr. Michael Greger. I don't have that book physically here. However, it is a very powerful book. It is an instant New York Times bestseller book. So you can imagine how powerful it is and how much information it has about health. So given the fact that it's written by Dr. Michael Greger, it's also really amazing. He's the person behind nutritionfacts.org, a very informative website for anyone wishing to learn more about nutrition. Finally, let's get to cooking. All right, I do want to mention again, you need this book for cooking. The reason for that is because, as I said, in the details that Simon goes into, he also explains how cooking will help make your meals healthier and more rich in nutrients. However, let's talk about cookbooks. Frugal Vegan, this is a really amazing book. My sister actually got me this book for Christmas a few years ago. I have used it and I find it really great because it's easy, delicious, and most importantly, affordable recipes. That's something you're gonna wanna have with you, you know. You don't want books that are only talking about, you know, quinoa salads and kale and really expensive ingredients like constantly getting vegan burgers or this and that. You need a book that will help you make some simple, affordable dishes, and this one is an amazing one. The second go-to book when it comes to eating healthy is the cookbook of How Not to Die. It's actually really great that they made a part 2 of that book where they talked about what you can eat as a vegan to be healthy and make sure that you're getting all the nutrients that you can. Now, that book is not with me. However, you can find the link in the description, as I said. The third book I'm gonna mention is actually not with me again. It's in Lebanon. I didn't bring it with me. However, it's an amazing one. It's called No Bake Vegan Desserts, and it's basically a cookbook of recipes of vegan sweets. And you wanna get your hands on this because, you know, you're gonna go vegan and it's very easy to make all the recipes that you can see for lunch and breakfast and things like that. But sometimes you need that really good dessert and you don't wanna go back to eating animal products. It's not ethical, it's not healthy, it's not good for the environment. So get your hand on this book. I've personally tried these recipes directly from the chef herself, Christina Leopold, an overall amazing human being, an amazing chef, the person behind the Instagram page Addicted to Dates, and also an amazing animal rights activist. So help a fellow vegan animal rights activist and get her book as well if you are interested in simple vegan dessert recipes. And that's it for today. And if you are wondering, I'm sure you guessed already what my favorite book is out of all. Although I really enjoy the philosophy books on animal rights, if it comes to one book that you're gonna get, make sure you get Simon Hill's The Proof is in the Plants. This is gonna be the book that you're gonna go to quickly for all the information that you need. I have like saved so many pages from here just because I know I'm gonna go back to them to use the information. When it comes to other books, I also really recommend the philosophy side of veganism, because once you have the ethics, once you understand and grasp the ethics, you're never gonna go back to discriminating against other animals. And you know, the cooking always comes second in my opinion, so you don't really need those cookbooks. However, if you are interested in recipe books, I highly recommend these ones. That being said, let me know if you want the next video to be about books that I recommend for every single animal rights activist. I'd really love to hear your opinion. I also want you to know which books you recommend new vegans to read. There's probably new vegans watching this video, so if you are a vegan and have any recommendations, let them know in the comment section below what you think they should read. Thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Please remember to subscribe, and if you wish to support my work online and offline with animal rights activism, please make sure to check out my website SEBALEX.org and get yourself the free ebook there as well. Thank you again so much for watching this. I'll see you in the next video.